Hello, hello. Welcome to our Wednesday Wisdom. I'm so grateful for you to be here, and I'm gonna deviate a little bit from what we usually, do the tax talk. So, I am at a conference in Orlando. It's a large conference, about what 5 to 7,000 people. Not sure the last count, and typically, you would want me to talk about, is it deductible? What can we do? Like, how can we maximize the deductions? And today, I'm not going to do the tax talk. And the reason why, because I feel like it's so important that we talk about some other things, not just about the deductions. It's not just about the deduction at the end of the day. So, I'm here with some of my dear friends, and I was having some conversations last night as I got in early for the conference. It begins in about an hour or so here. And I had the privilege to, and the honor to sit down with my dear friend Kinko. And she's a true inspiration. And, if you think about the Japanese culture at its finest, I think she represents that in a human form that has all the emotion, it has all the character traits that we want to see that are admirable. So, Kinko is a dear friend, and I really admire her. So much of what we're talking right now is going to be kind of like a summary, like a summary of what we discussed and what came out of why are we here, why are we even going to conferences. So everybody's going to conferences for various different reasons. So I want to talk. I have a little cheat sheet here with notes that I want to share with you today. So, she was, over dinner last night. We were talking about what's the intention. What do we want to do? Why are we here at the conference? What are we trying to achieve, right? And many people come and say, learning, right? You go to conferences to learn, right? But that doesn't really explain why are you physically in a location. Why would you fly yourself to a location? Why are you going to, go through all the hassle of being at a conference? Why don't you just do it online if learning is the tool? So it's not just learning. And, I want to talk about learning. And I feel like so many people go to conferences looking for a solution, people go to various different conferences thinking that they will have the solution for us where we're in today. They will provide something that I'm looking for in the journey that I'm in. And I had a couple of clients a week or two ago come back to me. It's like they came back from a conference all pumped up, like, oh, we learned about this, we learned about like the strategy and all of that. They just want it. And when I'm looking at a conference, and the speakers that come and speak about various different topics, what I would look at is, they are really, their job is to open our mind to see different possibilities, to see different avenues to get where we want to be. I truly believe that the ultimate solution for whatever you're looking for, whatever the reason, is it medical, is it financial, is it tax, is it business growth, is it exit, whatever it is, you have the solution. And going to all these places and conferences where people are sharing their experiences, they share their journey, what worked for them, what didn't work for them, is just to expand our mind to see, okay, is there another way? Am I locked in a way of thinking that doesn't allow me to find a solution or within me, right? Because it comes from you. And it's true even for tax strategy. I could literally talk to you about tax strategy all day long and it doesn't sink in. And you go to a conference and someone explains their journey and you're coming back, I'm like, oh, this is amazing. This is so good. I discovered Roth IRAs. And I'm like, if I would have talked to you about Roth IRAs, it would not have sinked in. So there's something about their journey that inspired you to open your mind to accept the idea, hey, maybe Roth IRAs are really a good thing. Well, again, I'm not saying they're good or bad. They're all good. They're all tools that we can use. So I'm looking at conferences as a way to find, really, other ways, right? Just to be curious. I'm going into with a curious mind to see what else is going on, what else, and without dismissing anything that I hear. People oftentimes, when I present a new concept, like infinity banking, velocity banking, people are like, what? This is new. I don't know what it means. And they shut it off in their brain immediately. The more you expand your capacity of understanding, and you're going to be like, you know what? Let me just look into it. What if it's not really what it appears to be? What if there's something true in it? What if this might work for me, right? So that's really the goal, right? So on the learning side, yes, you learn, but more than learning, it's that ability to be curious, to really see beyond the appearances of why are we even doing this? Why should you even do this, right? And kind of that's one of my number one intentions. Why do you want to go to a conference, right? Is expanding the ability to see beyond the obvious, right? That's my number one. Number two, a reason why you want to go to a conference is connection to people. And it is so interesting. Kinko and I were talking last night, and it's so interesting that connection is such an easy quality for some people to go and deploy, and it's harder for some. So connection is now one of my top qualities, I should say. Like I have to really put myself into a connection mode to really connect with people, and it's because more I'm an analyzer person, more of a look at the strategy type of thing, not necessarily connecting to people. Not that I don't care. So connection, and it does something very interesting. And why would you go to a conference where there's so many people? How can you even connect with so many people? It doesn't mean that you need to connect with all these people. So my take on this is this, and my conclusion to connection is that when I go to a conference, the connection that I do with other people, like true connection, I'm trying to really see where are they in their journey. What is the struggle? What is the journey that they're on, right? People are not going to come and say, hey, I'm going through divorce and all that. People are not going to say that. But if you seek true connection with some people, you don't have to connect with hundreds of people. But if you seek true connection, it does something in ourselves that it connects to what we want to do with our core beliefs. It connects with us at a different level. So we get connected with why we do the things that we do. So the connection with others is really actually a benefit to us. And that's really my intention for the whole conference, to really see the other people, to really see their journey. Because what's the point of me talking to you about what I want to talk about and not hear you where you are, right? So it's coming from a place of trying to create deeper connection, human connection with other people, right? Which you cannot do online the same way that you do in person. Touch your shoulder, touch whatever you do, touch the other person to see that you're actually a real person talking to them and caring about them for just a minute, right? So, but those are the two big pieces of intention. What do you want to have from a conference? And I want to make my final point here is, so again, my intention, so just a recap, and I'm just looking at my note what I said, a recap, my intention is just to create connection with other entrepreneurs in their journey, and the vision for that is to really get a deeper understanding of what is their journey about, what's the struggle, right? We talk about tax all day. Financial is just a surface thing. There's always deeper things than the financial. And people struggle with many different things on the financial side, on the tax side. And I want to be able to see, okay, what's the real struggle, right? So we can actually see how can we serve you better. So, and, I want to, my biggest why is, I tried to figure out why am I doing all of this? And I want to share with you a little story. And why am I even doing this? And this goes back to when I was like a little girl. I was this, chubby little girl that loved to dig through all the papers. So I remember like all the drawers with the old papers. I would read every contract, every deed, everything that was available to read, any certificate that was given for anything that you would buy or anything that you would have or that you would finance. And back then everything was on paper, right? So, all these papers, I loved reading and just connecting the dots. And when I was trying to analyze why would I do that, like I was just a little girl, like kids usually play with other things, and I would just love to read all these papers, and I'm like, what's up with that, right? So what's going on? And to just realize that because I was this little chubby girl, that was not the norm. It was not like, you're not in a place of power. You're not in a place of control. Like anybody can say whatever they wanted to say. Everybody can do whatever they want to do. And what I think right now that was going on in my subconscious mind was that gave me a place of power. I was able to connect some dots, going through a bunch of different papers, going to a bunch of different contracts. It was literally an unfair advantage of like above all the other kids that had absolutely no interest in reading papers and reading contracts. Not that I understood what it said, but I was able to connect the dates. I remember like dates, like this one happened at this date, this happened on this date, this is what it says. And I loved reading to those notes and those contracts. So going back is, my biggest why is, when you connect all the dots that are available, it gives you a place of power and control. And my role in thinking, why am I even doing what I'm doing for all my clients and all my work that was in the accounting and the tax space, is really trying to connect the dots. Connecting the dots to give you a place of power. I don't want, I would help anybody get out of that place of feeling, powerless, feeling that you have no control, that you are literally a victim of the world, instead of being a person who's responsible and takes a power position to control, how are you going to behave yourself? So have that place of power. So I know some people might disagree with me, but that's really what it was. So my biggest why, what I discovered just coming to this conference, and I'm going to so many conferences all the time, is this is what I discovered, helping that little girl. What I did today is still connected with that 10-year-old girl that was just going through a bunch of papers in all the drawers and trying to read and connect the dots. So today I did the same thing. I'm trying to connect the dots for all the pieces that are happening and trying to create a position of power, so we never have to face that moment of vulnerability, that moment of being the weaker link, that we can just thrive in a society that doesn't care really about you thriving, my opinion. So I hope this is useful. Thank you so much for joining me today. And I would love to know, if you are in a conference, you're going to a conference, why are you going? What's your goal? What's your intention when you go to all these conferences? Yeah, if it's a business conference, you're gonna get a tax deduction. So if you're looking for that, yes, you have my blessing. You can take the tax deduction for everything that you do. But more than that, what is your intention? What's your goal? What's your bigger why and the vision why you go to conferences? So please do share that with me. I would love to hear your comments and how that works out for you. And until next time, I'll share some more points from the conference. It's just the beginning. It starts today, so it's going to be a long week of great speakers and a great time. So a shout out to my friends who are here with me, and I just love them dearly. So until next time, bye-bye.